Hey y'all. So I wanted to come on and give a message about something that I've observed here over the last 2 weeks. If any of you are familiar with human design, if you follow human design, know what your human design is. Look to see if you have gate 1 in your chart. If you go back down through my videos, I did a video about gate 1 and how my view, my perception of what gate 1 represents is people who struggle with mental illnesses, or maybe were diagnosed with bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, because it's in the identity center. So it's a representation of who you are. And I want to read a little bit about gate 1 and see if you've been struggling with some of the things that this represents. Just know you're not alone, and that this energy that's present is been very, very intense, but it will pass. When at times throughout people's lives who have this gate activated in their chart, they go through periods of, it's like mania. It's hard to identify their thoughts, hard to distinguish what they feel. They have self-doubt. They have scary thoughts of suicide. They can have thoughts of feeling unloved by people. Because it's in that identity center, it's a sense of people loving them, people wanting to be around them, people wanting to be with them. It's an identity crisis, basically, is what an existential crisis that they go through. But let's talk about it a little bit. So in the shadow of gate 1 is entropy. According to what we can see through the mind, the universe appears to have a single direction. It moves from order towards chaos. This first shadow keeps the entire planet living at a low level of frequency. It is like a blanket thrown across our civilization. According to our mind, we cannot do anything about entropy. This is our chief problem. Human beings do not generally accept themselves, and when you convert entropy into a human feeling, it becomes a kind of deep numbness or a sense of gloom. Entropy is, in the effect, the opposite of love. What is the meaning of entropy in your life? As just mentioned, entropy manifests in human beings as numbness. And this numbness is actually an extremely fertile state of awareness. First of all, you have to understand that it is a chemical state, and secondly, it comes on suddenly, and accepted and fully embraced, it passes just as suddenly. Entropy and creativity are an eternal dance played out within the universe we habitat. We do not know why exactly humans feel gloomy on certain days and happy on other days, despite our thousands of theories. Just as there is external weather, there is also internal weather, and it differs in every human being. When you feel the movement of the creation inside you, you are happy. When you feel entropy inside you, you are no longer happy. This continual interplay of energy in your life makes you want to always maintain the happy side and escape the gloomy side. Herein lies the greatest flaw in your nature, in the distortion of the true energy of entropy into depression. And why I feel like this energy represents someone that might struggle with depression or has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder is because of them going through these very deep emotional states. And then when they come out of these emotional states, because during that time there's an alchemical process that's happening. It's a beautiful process. It's because going inward pushes you to go into that feminine energy to create. But if we don't know what's really happening to us, which most people don't, because their mind will tell them all these crazy things about people don't love them, or they're not wanted, and because they themselves don't like this feeling, because essentially the human beings, we want to be happy all the time. But when we're forced into these states, which they so often are, it's scary, it's uncomfortable, it's confusing, and you can feel a little lost. And so we resist it and push against it, rather than allowing the energy just to flow, like it says here in the book about how to get out of it. So it says the system is recharging like a vacuum state. So the energy within you withdraws into a kind of stasis. The resulting feelings of or lack of feeling and or enthusiasm provide a delicate environment for something quite special to occur. If you are patient enough to allow it, this something is a creative process. In other words, your low energy means that something intangible is gestating inside you, even though you cannot yet see it. These low times in your life are, therefore, very special times, and they generally require aloneness and withdrawal in order for the seeds that's sprouting inside of you to germinate. The worst enemy in such times is interference from your own mind, or indeed someone else's mind, wondering what is wrong with you. And that's why a lot of people will look at people that go through these states like that, because they're feeling things so deeply, like there's something wrong with them, but they themselves are not comfortable with how to process what or experience what somebody else is going through, because we tend to be fixers and we want to fix problems. And if we're not able to help another person come out of a state that's uncomfortable for them, which therefore is uncomfortable for yourself as well, we tend to project our thoughts of judgment and shame onto them, which is the worst thing that we can do. That's why it's so important when people are in these states like this to just be there and support them. A lot of times, if people are aware of this state that you go into, they can kind of go into a hermit mode and isolate themselves and just allow themselves to move through this process as however long it takes. And sometimes it can lead up to about 2 weeks if they resist it. But if they allow themselves to really feel what's happening and move through that and know, like, have a plan of action. If you are a person who is self-aware and you are aware that you go through these states, then you can create some type of plan of action on how to help move you through that state quicker. And to have people around you that are a support system that understand this process that you go through. Because when you come out on the other side, the gift of that is freshness, new ideas, things to be excited about, things that you want to create. But you have to go through that darker space to let those seeds germinate and that chemical process happen, so that you can have the freshness and new ideas when you come out of it. Anyway, I just felt like I should do another message about this gate, because I've spoken to several people and know even personally people in my own life that have this gate activated, and they've all been going through really, really tough stuff the last couple of weeks and are just a little confused. And it's been nice to be able to help bring awareness to that, what they're experiencing. And so now we can make a plan of action to help them through that. Anyway, just want to let you guys know, and hope you have a great day. If you have any questions, if you want to know what your human design is, let me know. We can set up an appointment and we can get working together. See you later.